Welcome to another lecture on the English textbook. Today's lecture is on Unit 12, Technical Education. First, we will look at the unit summary, importance, challenges, and solutions, and then go through all the exercises step by step to strengthen your understanding and exam skills. If you have any questions, write them in the comment section. And if you haven't subscribed to the channel yet, please do so. So let's get started. Summary. Unit 12, Technical Education. The lesson explains why technical and vocational education is essential for Pakistan's progress. General education alone cannot solve unemployment and poverty because it often produces degree holders without practical skills. Technical education equips youth with marketable abilities for industry, agriculture, and services. With a large youth bulge, Pakistan stands at a decisive moment. Only by investing in skills and training can the country turn this young population into a national strength and secure sustainable development. However, the TVET system faces serious challenges: poor quality, outdated equipment, a shortage of trained teachers, weak links with industry, and limited scholarships. These gaps leave many graduates unemployed, while employers still lack skilled workers. The lesson cites Japan and Germany, which rebuilt rapidly after World War II through strong vocational training, and recalls Quaid-e-Azam's emphasis on scientific and technical education. Pakistan must expand and modernize TVET, strengthen industry-academia linkages, train instructors, and support students to achieve economic growth and national prosperity. Exercise. Reading comprehension. 1. Why do we need more technical education than general education in Pakistan? हमें पाकिस्तान में उमूमी तालीम से ज़्यादा फ़नी तालीम की ज़रूरत क्यों है? We need more technical education because it gives practical skills that help people find jobs easily. General education only produces degree holders without skills. Technical education also reduces unemployment and supports industrial growth. 2. How did technical education help Japan and Germany recover their economy after World War II? दूसरी जंग अजीम के बाद जापान और जर्मनी की बहाली में फनी तालीम ने कैसे मदद की? Japan and Germany focused on vocational training after the war. This created a skilled workforce that rebuilt their industries. As a result, both countries became strong and leading economies in the world. Why is a linkage between the industries and the technical education training centers necessary? सनतों और फनी तालीमी इदारों के दरमियान रबत क्यों ज़रूरी है? Linkage with industries ensures that training centers teach the skills actually needed in the job market. Without this, graduates remain unemployed because their training is outdated. It makes education more practical and job-oriented. 4. What measures do you suggest for improving the technical education structure of Pakistan? पाकिस्तान में फ़नी तालीम के ढांचे को बेहतर बनाने के लिए आप क्या इक़दामात तजवीज़ करते हैं? Pakistan should upgrade training institutes and modernize equipment. Teachers must be properly trained, and scholarships should be provided to deserving students. Curricula should be revised according to the latest industry requirements. 5. How can technical education help in strengthening the economy of Pakistan? पाकिस्तान की मीशत को मजबूत बनाने में फ़नी तालीम किस तरह मददगार हो सकती है? Technical education produces skilled workers for industries and agriculture. It increases production, boosts exports, and reduces unemployment. A skilled workforce makes the economy stronger and self-reliant. Writing suggestions. Write an argumentative essay on need for technical education in our country by stating an opinion about the topic and list ideas that support opinion. In the modern age of science and progress, no nation can succeed without technical education. Unfortunately, in our country, education is mostly theoretical, which produces degree holders but not skilled workers. To compete with the developed world, we must give due importance to technical education. Firstly, technical education equips students with practical skills in fields like engineering, computer science, agriculture, and health sciences. These skills help them find employment easily and also reduce the rising problem of unemployment. Secondly, it encourages self-reliance. A technically trained person can start his own work, earn a decent living, and even provide jobs for others. Moreover, technical education saves our country from depending on foreign experts. Many times we import technicians from abroad to handle our industries, but our youth can perform this role if trained properly. Lastly, technical education increases national production and improves exports because skilled manpower is highly valued worldwide. In conclusion, technical education is the need of the hour. It will make our youth confident, our industries strong, and our country prosperous. Without it, real progress will always remain a dream. Vocabulary and grammar. A. Following are some words related to economics. Place each word in the given blanks that best define this word. 1. Client. Customer. Gahak. A customer is someone who buys goods or services. A client receives professional services. Career. Career. Pishawarana zindagi. Job. Nokri. A job is what someone does in exchange for money. A career is a professional trajectory that includes both past and present jobs. Co-workers. Satikarkan. Rafikar. A co-worker is someone who works on your team or for your company. A colleague is a professional who works in your industry, but not necessarily for the same company. 4. Top of the line, alamayarka, expensive, manga, premium, overpriced, zarurat se zyada mehenga. Expensive simply means that something costs a lot. Overpriced means that something costs more than it should. Premium and top of the line have a positive connotation and communicate that something is high quality. 5. Ordinary standard, mayari, run-of-the-mill, gharaham, familiar, well-known, common Familiar and well-known have a neutral connotation. Run-of-the-mill have a negative connotation. Ordinary and common have a positive connotation. 6. Rich, amir, well-off, well-to-do, wealthy, dolatamand. Rich is a direct term that we often try to avoid. Well-off is a more polite way to communicate that someone has a lot of money. Well-to-do and wealthy are euphemistic, indirect ways to communicate that someone has a lot of money. 7. Approach, method, andaz, tariqa, strategy, hikmat-amali, scheme, mansuba, plot, sazish, kahani, kahaka. Scheme and plot have a negative connotation. Approach and strategy sound more positive. Plant, karkhana, sweatshop, kam ejratwaivali, factory, workshop, karkhana. Plant and factory are synonyms. Sweatshop has a negative connotation and communicates that people work long hours for little pay. A workshop is smaller than a factory. Also, a workshop is a place where things might be manufactured and or repaired. 9. Warranty. Nama. Guarantee. A warranty is a written document stating that a product will be repaired or replaced if it becomes defective. A guarantee is not always written and usually not as specific as a warranty. 10. Ashamed. Embarrassed. Mortified. Intahai sharminda. Someone ashamed has done something morally wrong and feels guilty about it. Someone embarrassed has done something that will cause others to think less of them, but not something morally wrong. Mortified is a stronger version of 11. Manager, mentazam, supervisor, boss, malin, malik, F.Sc. Boss has a negative connotation, whereas manager and supervisor do not. Also, a manager is in charge of people, whereas a supervisor may have additional responsibilities such as meeting the financial objectives of the company. 12. Expense, akhrajat, cost. Investment, sarmayakari, price, qimat. Cost and price have a neutral connotation. Expense has a negative connotation. Investment has a positive connotation as it suggests that the benefit of the purchase will outweigh the cost. 13. Plafi ziyada, sufficient, kafi, adequate, manasib, basqabli kabul. Sufficient has a more positive connotation than plenty. Adequate communicates that there are barely enough. Plenty communicates that there is much more than what is needed. 14. To come up short, kam parjana. To fail, nakam huna. To miss the mark, hedaf hasil nakarna. To fail has a negative connotation. To miss the mark and to come up short have a more positive connotation. 15. Youthful, jawan, perjosh, napakhta pachgana. Young, najawan. Young has a neutral connotation. Youthful has a positive connotation. Immature has a negative connotation. 16. To stare. Gurna, to glare. Ghase se gurna, to look. Dekna. To watch. Dekhna. We typically use look to communicate that someone is visually focusing on something that is not moving. We use watch to communicate that someone is visually focusing on something that is moving. To stare means to look at someone without averting one's eyes. Glare means to stare at someone with hatred or disapproval. 17. Sincere. Makhalas, honest. If someone is being honest, they are telling the truth. If someone is being sincere, they are being genuine, and their actions and words reflect how they really feel. 18. Thrifty. In frugal, sada mazaj. Kafar, stingy, cheap. Sasta kam qimat ya kanjus mazaj. Stingy and cheap have negative connotations. Thrifty and frugal have positive connotations. Also, stingy refers to not wanting to part with money, but cheap refers to not wanting to part with something of value. 19. Unique, odd. Anokha, ajib, strange. Weird, ghair mamuli. Unusual, ghair mamuli, aam se hatkar. Unusual is neutral. Odd, strange, and weird have a negative connotation. Unique has a positive connotation. Put in the correct third conditional verb form. Structure. If plus past perfect, subject would have past participle. Examples. If I had seen him, I would have said hello. She would have won if she had run faster. Exercise 1. If you had not been late, we would not have missed the bus. 2. If she had studied, she would have passed the exam. If we had arrived earlier, we would have met Ajmal. 4. If they had gone to bed early, they would not have woken up late. 5. If he had become a musician, he would have recorded a CD. 6. If she had gone to art school, she would have become a painter. 7. If I had been born in a different country, I would have learned to speak a different language. 8. If she had gone to university, she would have studied English. 9. If we had not gone to the party, we would not have met them. 10. If he had taken the job, he would not have gone traveling. 11. He would have been happier if he had stayed at home. 12. She would have passed the exam if she had studied harder. 13. We would not have gotten married if we had not gone to the same university.